Okay, so this is a recorded meeting of the North Tabor Neighborhood Association, September 21st, 2021. I'm Robert Jordan. I'm a board member and I'm just moderating this evening because our two co-chairs are not able to come to the meeting. So an agenda was sent out. Did everybody get a copy of that? If I can, I could maybe screen share it. Am I allowed to do that? Let's see. Disable screen sharing.
Well, Keith, can you make him a co-host or enable his screen sharing?
Yes, you should be able to share now.
Okay.
I have a question. Stephanie, are you still on the board or are you attending as a neighbor?
No, I'm still on the board. I'm not the Southeast Uplift rep.
Okay,
Try it
good.
again.
I'm just
Let me try
verifying.
this again. Somehow it's screening sharing I just want to share that. I don't know what this other stuff is on here. I don't even recognize it. Can everybody see the screen share of the agenda?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll officially call the meeting to order, and it's 6:34. Introductions. Most of us are board members, but not everybody. So I'm Robert Jordan. I'm a board member and I'm just moderating. I'm not an officer actually, but I'll moderate the meeting this evening. And Keith, you want to?
I'm Keith DeChant, living at 60th and Hoyt, and I'm the communications coordinator and the driver of the Zoom meeting.
Okay, I'm Stephanie Kaza, and I have been serving as a Southeast Uplift representative, but I'm staying on the board because what a great bunch of people it is.
Yeah, that was right. I don't know how old that is.
Sarah?
My name's Sarah Mung. I'm the secretary and I live over in the pocket, 63rd in Oregon. I have a child who's 7 and goes to Glencoe Elementary.
Okay, Lisa?
Hi, I'm Lisa. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I'm using someone else's computer. So I'm Lisa Maddox and I am the Land Use and Transportation Committee chairperson. Co-chairperson.
Hey, Patty?
Patty LaCaff, live at 56th and Flanders, and I am the treasurer.
Okay, and Ross?
Ross Heiner. I'm a fairly new board member, been involved for the past 6 months or so.
Okay, great. And so we have one or two guests, one guest, I guess, or neighborhood. Is it Haryana? I don't see your name on my.
Yes, it is Haryana. Yeah.
Haryana. Okay.
Yeah.
You want to introduce yourself briefly?
Sure. I'm a retired science educator and I live on 53rd between Hawthorne and Belmont. So I just want to find out what's going on in the area. I've been here. I was born here and I've been back here for 3 years and now I'm ready to move again. So I'm reaching out to people all over the east side just to see what's happening and also to see if anybody knows of any places for rent that would be probably shared spaces.
Okay, good. So you're not actually in our neighborhood, but you might end up being a neighbor. So
I very well might. That's why I'm here.
We'll convince you that how friendly we are, and you might want to become a North Taborite. Let's see, who else? Is there somebody that was a
Yes.
Carol? I think.
Carol.
Yeah.
Is she still there?
Yep. Carol, do you want to show your video image?
I don't know how.
Look down in the lower corner where there's a little camera with probably has a red line through it. And if you click on it, it'll take that red line off and it should show your face.
Do I have to? I look pretty.
No, just while you
You don't have
introduce
to.
yourself.
Okay, thank you. I'd rather not. This is my first time and I really
That's
don't know
fine.
what I'm doing and I'm just trying to, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm not prepared to be on TV.
All right. I think we've met you before. You've come to our meetings in the past, right?
I've lived in a neighborhood about 60 years.
Right. You have some rental property. And so, yes, I remember who you are. Okay, good. So that's introductions. we are missing our two co-chairs and several other board members. I think we technically do have a quorum.
We do.
So,
I just took count. We do have a quorum.
So the one thing we do need to vote on, everybody has gotten a copy of the August minutes that Sarah sent out right after the last meeting. And so hopefully we'll be able to just vote on and approve those. Did anybody have any corrections to those minutes? Patty, you mentioned something.
Yes, Lisa's last name is Maddox, Maddox,
Oh, and yeah, thank you.
and Ross Heiner, Hiner.
Okay,
It's Maddocks.
OCKS.
Plural.
Okay, so,
Got those corrections.
okay, so those are corrected. So I'll entertain a motion to accept those minutes as amended.
Second.
Did I, somebody other than me needs to make the motion.
I'll move that we
Okay,
approve.
so Stephanie moved, and was it Ross who seconded?
Mhm.
Yes.
I think, okay. So it's been moved and seconded. All in favor of approving the August minutes, raise your hand or indicate somehow that you approve. Okay, that's all of us.
Aye.
So that agenda item is taken care of. Next thing on the agenda is the treasurer's report. So Patty, are there any change in our funds? And can you tell us what the bank balance is right now? You're muted. You're muted. No podemos entender.
Sarah, for your information, or everybody, the balance is 3,033.98. It has not changed since last time.
Okay.
Okay, good, thanks. We can revisit the treasury and what we're going to do with the money here later on if we want to, but that's how it stands right now. I guess I should mention that the change of officers, this should have been done really probably last year, but right now the signatories on that account are me, Patty, and Sarah, I believe. And I should have been taken off of there a year ago because I'm not an officer anymore. But we do need to take care of, after there's board elections, new officers, we need to get all the signatures changed on those bank accounts. So kind of maybe Sarah make a note of that in the minutes. That's something we need to do in the future. Okay, Southeast Uplift update. Stephanie, I know that you're not really the rep anymore. Did you have anything to add about?
Well, I can fill in a little. I haven't seen the actual formal announcement of the new executive director, but it was on the executive committee agenda. So I think the plan is to welcome the person in October, and I hope it's the one that really seemed like a perfect fit from Selwood, because there were two finalists, and I did go through the kind of board Q&A opportunity with them. And this person has done just a whole lot of work on Selwood. Maybe I talked about this last time, I'm not sure. But so we're looking at some new direction and somebody hiring some new staff. There's just been a lot of turnover. Leah's done a good job, but I think she's ready to step down. I'm not sure if she's staying on in any capacity. I don't know the answer to that. The biggest news, I think, is that the board approved this two-part management strategy where the executive director will work with the staff and with the daily activities and the budget and all that and the city. And there will be a board facilitator to, I think, help create a more functional board. The Southeast Uplift board, because of the nature of it with all these neighborhood representatives who, cycle in and out, a lot of them only stay 1 year. They aren't oriented that well. And then there are all these at-large people that there's been a lot of issues around race and diversity and culture and calling out. And I think this board facilitator will have to take some of this on, but it really has, in my mind, become a top issue, sort of how to just run meetings well, because there's so many things Southeast Uplift could be taking on, from houselessness to, placemaking to COVID education to rental poverty, people's economic needs to jobs. There's just any of those issues are fair game, but it's been pretty absorbed in this
anti-racism work, or as they call it, DEIA, diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. So I think it's an open field. I'm really hoping, CJ said that he would attend the next meeting. I'm hoping he'll want to be the rep because I think he'd be a really good fit. And it's great to be hearing, what's coming down, but the budget's still in really good shape. That's good to know. The organization is solid, but with this leadership change, we'll see what happens. And again, just to iterate why I said it was time for me to step down is because I've joined this board of trustees for a small university in Colorado, Naropa. And wow, it's just taking a whole lot of time. Yeah, I'm on a couple different committees and I'm flying to Boulder for that meeting. So it's just a different order. But I'm happy to kind of keep my pulse on Seoul until CJ gets going, just because I'm still getting all the announcements and everything. So I can give another update in September if need be.
Okay. And I noticed that Jules has joined us. So hello, another board member. So we're even better in our quorum abilities.
And also Suzanne.
Suzanne.
Oh, and Suzanne, is Suzanne here too? Oh, there she is. Yeah, both of you. Okay, excellent. So we're doing pretty well as far as attendance of board members anyway. Okay, I'm going to stop screen sharing here. I think you see the rest of the agenda is pretty basic. So communications would be next. Keith, you have anything to say? Keith and Jules both.
Not a whole lot. Jules, a few items that we need to wrangle in order to get the some of the Facebook and other things, MailChimp things working, but we can handle that offline. I don't know if you have the ability to stay on a little bit afterwards to chat about that. Yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on. But yeah, the only other thing is that yeah, I'm also going to be stepping down from the committee at the end of this term. So we need to prepare for that and make sure that we can have continuity on all the website topics.
So are you going to stay on the board or just get off of the communications?
I'm planning to step down from the board entirely.
Okay. Okay, so and Jules, did you have anything to add communications wise?
No. I guess we do need to connect kind of based on what I'm still not seeing those permissions to be able to do admin stuff. But I am really needing support for the newsletter. I'm at like 50 hours a week plus. So I really need kind of a partner in crime to be able to kind of pull that off. And like this last week, I'm really sorry, you guys, I totally just forgot about the newsletter and put it together at the last minute. So, I'm really looking for a partner here in terms of being able to curate some content and get that up and out and working well for us. So, when's the end of the term?
Actually, elections are next month, and that is something we'll talk about here in the next item of business. And so I think we all certainly understand your situation as far as time. And if you have, hopefully after there's a new board, then maybe there'll be some new energy to get that going, but don't burn yourself out before that happens. If you need to skip a newsletter, I don't think anybody is going to be, upset about it. To just that sort of thing happens. The one thing I would like to ask about communications is I know that we did receive money from Southeast Uplift, I think communications money at some point. Is that all going to be properly spent in time? I'm not sure when the deadline to spend that is. We need to make sure we allocate it.
Yeah, it has to be spent by the end of the year.
Okay, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do have, I did just get an email, forgot to mention this a minute ago, did just get an email that our Zoom account is going to be up for renewal pretty soon. So that'll be one thing that we'll spend the money on.
Okay.
But that's only $129 or something like that. It's not a ton of money. I think we have more money than that available.
Yeah,
So Keith, we do have a debit card that can be paid, or we can pay by check and have a receipt, which is a good idea too. So if you, I don't know how they do that.
I think for the last time when I signed up for the Zoom account last year, I think I did it under my personal account and then got
Right.
reimbursed from Southeast Uplift.
Yeah, I don't think we want to do it that way this year.
If we have a debit card from our own bank account, we should
Yeah,
maybe
by all
use that.
means.
We do, or yes, and or we could write a check, either.
I doubt they will take a check. I think it has
Okay.
to be a card.
Do the card,
We
and
do
then
have a
there'll be an
card.
electronic record of it, but just
Mhm.
provide Keith the information, or
Okay,
he can just send you, I suppose, the link, and then you can go ahead and pay it using that card.
so that's another thing. When the bank, when I stepped down, that bank card, they had me put my name on it, so that will have to be changed as well. Whoever takes over for treasurer.
Yeah.
So we do need
Well,
to, yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of transition things here. So Sarah, maybe this is something you can just keep a running list of, because we would need to know who's going to host the Zoom meetings. That sets them up so we all can get on board. I mean, I could possibly do it, but someone needs to carry that if Keith isn't.
Maybe,
And
I know
yeah.
CJ has done that in the past, so maybe
okay,
we could, instead of having two co-chairs, we can maybe have Scott take on the chair role
Great.
and have CJ do Southeast Uplift and do the Zoom meetings, and then we'll have to recruit for communications.
Mhm.
Jules continues. Jules, I can help you with newsletters. I don't write worth a crap, but I can definitely do some hanging around, and I'm really good at like finding stuff and neat things, and we can like post stuff in there. So I have tons of recipes up the yin yang, so we can like put a recipe a month in there for whatever fruit or vegetable is in season.
that
Apples,
sounds good.
apples.
Yeah.
We have a recipe a month, at least that. So, and people kind of like that. So, or like, if you're looking for something hearty because the weather's so crappy, I've got lots of those too. Or got a new Instapot for Christmas. So I can be your recipe lady because I cook a lot. So
Yeah, okay. Well, that's great. Yeah,
So that's a good transition into new business, because we're talking about kind of changeover in the board and everything. So
Wait, Jules was trying to
Is
say
it-
a little
yeah.
bit more.
yeah, so the other thing, so Zoom, I think is well worth the spend too. I think it's also worth us investing too if we're going to continue trying to do some outreach and marketing and just really kind of getting connected with our community a little bit better. I did put down, I think in last month's email, about kind of leveling up our subscription to MailChimp. It would be a kind of a nominal fee, but I think it would yield some serious ROI for us in terms of what we put into that. So that's another consideration. We had also, again, like hopefully if we can kind of get a better kind of protocols around developing emails and a process in place, I do think that we could put in some light spend for lead generation for email subscriptions. So there are some technical things that we could utilize that money for. I forget, is it $500 was our
1,000. I think it's
1,000?
was it
Okay.
1,000?
I
And we-
think so.
And we
Or
need to
It's $500.
okay,
Yeah.
$500.
But we have plenty of other money. So
We have,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
I think
Okay.
we should just approve all your proposals.
How
right
much is
now.
the MailChimp?
I'd have to look. I think it's like,
About?
I want to say it's about $15 to $40 a month. And it's a yearly kind of subscription, so we could pay that up front and
Mhm.
renew a year after. That would allow us a little bit more capabilities than we currently have.
Mhm.
And then again, like if I can partner, we can get we can actually buy ad credits that we could utilize on our Facebook platform later in the term if we would wanted to go ahead and not necessarily run ads this year, but get that in the bank and get that spent
Mhm.
anyway, and redeem it a little later in the year.
And
So-
can we do like a pop-up on the website to snag the email addresses?
Right now, we do have a form. What I've been trying to encourage is to actually embed that landing page MailChimp sign up form in the site so we can drive people there to do that. We would need, I think, a little bit more. I don't know what our WordPress subscription is, but there are some marketing tools. So we could also evaluate leveling up our subscription that allows for more of those like pop-ups and add-ons into our site as well. I would maybe not recommend that unless we're gonna really invest a lot of time and commitment in terms of rounding out more content on our site before we start doing things like that. But all possibilities.
So let me then ask for a motion to authorize Patty to pay up to $700, let us say, in communications related items as submitted by Jules and Keith between now and the next meeting. She's got the debit card. So that would allow us to go above the 500 that we do need to spend on communications. So 700 comes off the top of my head. We can always increase that by another vote next month, but we do have the money. So I can't make the motion myself, but I would entertain a motion, quote, to allow Patty to pay up to $700 in communications expenses as requested by the Communications Committee. Do I hear a motion?
Promote.
I will motion that.
I'll second that.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second to allow Patty to pay up to $700 in communications related expenses. All in favor, say aye.
I
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, so Patty is authorized to pay up to a total of $700 at this point, which could include anything communications related, and you two are the Communications Committee. So please coordinate with her and get anything that we can pay up to that amount, then we'll go ahead and take care of that.
Okay, thank you.
And I like that idea that you put forward, Sarah. So somebody maybe should of splitting the responsibilities to see if Greg Scott could chair and if CJ and being the Southeast Uplift rep and the Zoom thing, it just seems like we should have shared administration somewhere if Keith steps down. So there's always two people on, with access to Facebook and to all our different things. So he's might have the good technical skills to pick that up easily. And doesn't have to be a lot of work, but you just have to have the knowledge to have it be easy. So who can nominate him or talk to him about this?
I'm just putting it in new business
Okay.
and I'll send the meeting minutes out and kind of do an email to CJ and Greg and say,
Okay.
you can blame me, but this was my idea because we have a lot of people leaving. And I'll kind of tell them what my idea was.
Yeah.
I won't say it's coming from the board, but I'll say it's coming, this is
Yeah.
coming from me. And I think this is what we should do. I do want to let people know I will be continuing because, helping, I don't want everybody to leave at once. So
Okay.
I will continue and I'm going to try and go talk to some people out here in the pocket and see if we can get some interest to join the board, at least get people to join at large so we can at least have some bodies on and then maybe we assign roles later. We've done that in the past. So anyway, there's my thoughts.
That'd be great. Is this part of our new business to figure out who's staying on and who's going on?
Yes, well, and that's actually the next thing on the agenda was the election, although the agenda says November, but it's actually in October. And the new board takes over in November. Now, I know I sent an email out saying that I was going to leave the board, but I will stay on as just a at-large person,
Yay.
but I'm not going to take an officer role. But if Sarah's going to do it, I guess I can re-up for another year just as a board member.
That'd be awesome, Robert. Thank you.
So,
Can I also jump in here for a minute?
Yes.
and Say that it's not a great, big, huge responsibility to be a treasurer. So I will stay on too, because I do feel bad that
Yay.
it's just gonna be rough. So, yeah,
Oh,
I'll stay on as well, one more year.
are you going to stay on
yay,
as?
yay, yay.
Patty, yeah, I mean, Patty, if you, if you need help at all, let me know. Because I can,
It's really an easy job, Sarah. It was more about feeling bad if I couldn't show up, but you know what? If I can't show up,
You know,
that's fine.
don't feel, I think we-
I'll just tell Robert to take care of it.
right, and we do have, and I feel bad when I can't, like, there's one, I think there's like one or two times, I think there was once in February I couldn't come, but I felt bad, but I think that people, just like in an everyday job, there's things that come up, and sometimes it's not convenient, and don't feel bad that if you can't attend.
No, I think more, I was more trying to force somebody into reaching out a little more and trying to get, there's all these young people with kids at Glencoe and Mount Tabor. And it's, I just really want to just somehow get people to get in here and, get excited about our neighborhood. So maybe that can be a mission for me to do next year, or, help with. Yeah, that's it.
I think working with our communication stuff, if we can, really help Jules and really
Right.
understand that we've got some powerful tools and we haven't really used them to their full capacity. And we can also do one of our handout things, door to door if we're excited. We've been bombed out a few times in the past, but
Yeah.
um,
I think outreach is a huge motivator though, especially for, communities. So I really think if we could, again, kind of organize and get some kind of event together, I think, without, it's harder to kind of commit to something or be a part of something that's virtual, versus something that has you can see that there's activity going on, there's things happening, there's things to do. I think would probably perk up some people's ears. So maybe that's something that we can talk about soon here. I just really think that, giving some people something to do is kind of the best way to get people involved and engaged. And, we haven't been able to do that yet.
well,
For
COVID,
a while. Yeah.
COVID, yeah.
So we are authorized, Sarah, how many board members? Is it 13 or 15 that we can
Yeah,
have?
we are authorized to have 15.
15. So, there's some vacancies now. I guess I would urge, in particular, Sarah, there've been people in the pocket with projects in mind that, might like some help, but it would be great if 3 or 4 of them might even join the board. We used to have a lot more representation out of the pocket.
Oh
now.
yeah, we used to have like half the board was from the pocket.
Right.
And
So
then-
anyway, maybe you can re-energize some of those, but so I'm pretty confident that we will have a full board, or at least as many people as we have now. And we wish Keith well, but he can always join in just as a neighbor if there's something of interest, for at one of our board meetings. But as far as figuring out who's going to be various officers, that is all taken care of in November when the new board meets. And we'll see if, Greg and CJ, one of them wants to be chair and whatever, but that can be worked out in November once we have a complete new board. Is there anything else about the election? We do need to.
Well, how about hearing from Suzanne and Jules, what their intentions are, and if anybody knows about the other board members, I guess Kim and Lars.
I'll go ahead and do another year, and hopefully my life will calm down enough I can actually participate more. People stop being injured and passing away and whatnot. So yeah, but I'll try another year.
Okay, thanks, Suzanne.
Great.
Okay, so.
And wait, and Jules, Jules, we're hoping that you'll carry on. Whoops.
You're
Oh,
muted.
she's muted. So if you say no, we didn't hear it.
Yeah, we didn't hear it.
My answer was not no. No,
Okay.
no, I'm committed, and I love this neighborhood, and
Yeah.
I really want to make some things happen. So
Don't
really looking.
overextend yourself. I'd say
Yeah.
that to everybody too. We don't need people to get burned out.
Mhm.
And Haryana, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I do. I don't know if I'll find a place in your area or not, but I'm really interested in being part of a community wherever I move to in Portland.
Mhm.
And I'm a writer. I would be happy to discuss with you, Jules, the kind of help that you need. I write and I edit. I do a lot of things, but I do those well. So if you want to talk about the kind of help you need, I put my email in the chat.
Okay, great.
And also, if there are other neighborhood associations in Northeast and Southeast Portland that have this kind of interaction, I would love to be a part of it.
Well, I would say
Yeah.
that we have a pretty close relationship with Mount Tabor Neighborhood Association.
Okay.
And back when cleanups were a thing, we always partnered with them. So I highly recommend them as, an active neighborhood association. And so we had, a good thing going there. But of course, COVID has messed up a lot of that. The other ones, Montevilla and, Rose City Park, I don't know them. I guess you don't want to get too far northeast because they're in a different coalition. Well, we don't deal too much with them.
We just don't
We'll
know
end up-
those.
You'll
Yeah.
end up where you end up, but look at Mount Tabor.
Okay, great. Thank you.
We can certainly tell you that there's about, I don't know how many thousand more living units in North Tabor now, just in the last maybe year. So
Really?
They've
Yeah,
built
there's-
hundreds of new apartments along
on
Gleason.
Gleason, there's a lot, and Burnside, there's some brand new
Burnside.
things going up on 52nd and Burnside, at
Mhm.
60th and Burnside. We are in one of the transit corridors in the new Portland Comprehensive Plan because this is bus routes and close to the max. So these are seen as good places for people to live that want to be independent of a car. I don't have any idea the prices. Some seem really super overpriced, but some are supposed to be in the affordable range, especially these ones on 52nd and Burnside. So yeah, take a little auto tour. We've got.
I'm one of these bus people. I don't have a car.
We'll
So
take a little
well, there
bus
you go.
tour.
because the transit
Number
system-
19 bus goes down
Great.
Gleason.
Yeah.
Check out the ones on Gleason because I think there's some really nice little smaller units there. I'm
Studio
not
apartments, a lot
sure.
of
Yeah,
them.
between
Okay.
about 58th and 53rd, there's quite a few units.
Correct.
And 53rd.
And the Burnside bus number 20 also goes down from 60th. They stop at almost every corner. So
Okay. Burnside. Okay. Well, I'm
And we
actually,
got the max too. So
because I'm a passionate gardener, I'm actually looking for a share in a house. Someplace where somebody's got a garden because besides being a writer, I'm a pollinator habitat specialist and I love to help people change their gardens to make them pollinator friendly. It's easy, but you just need to get focused, need the right info. So,
Actually,
that'll be great. Yeah.
one of our board members, Kim Cash, who's not here tonight, she did a kind of a garden walk thing. Didn't she put together
Oh,
sort of a
wonderful.
garden walk? Maybe somebody could give Haryana her email address. Do we have that?
Yeah, that'd be great.
And whether or not you end up in our neighborhood, she's a garden person, so would be a good.
Okay, well, let me just put my email in there for everybody.
Okay.
And also, just so you know, Haryana, I think there are a lot of gardeners in this neighborhood, and I think they would welcome your, as much effort as you wanted to put into a garden that was right near where you lived, even if you weren't in that actual house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come to my house anytime.
yes, same.
I love
Yeah.
having a garden, but I do not have I kind of have a yellow thumb, as I call it.
Well, just email me.
Okay.
Just email me. I tell you what, if I'll just focus on my real absolute passion, helping people identify insects so they don't spray everything in the world. I have a degree in entomology. I love
Really?
doing that in conjunction
Mhm.
with the garden.
I'm
So
an
Yeah.
entomologist too.
really, are you?
Yeah,
Wow.
mosquitoes though.
Oh, mosquito abatement? No,
Well-
I'm not into mosquito
No,
abatement.
not really abatement. Anyway, we'll talk about it offline.
Well, maybe you could offer a little workshop for our in North Tabor neighborhood meeting on putting in your pollinator garden.
Yes.
And
Great idea,
That
or
would be
content for the
awesome.
newsletter.
That would be awesome. And also, I like to help people not kill and squash and spray everything, to really not freak out every time they see something weird, and to learn to use their creative energy to observe, to wonder, to ask questions about what they're seeing instead of stomp on it. So that's me in a nutshell.
Okay, so
Great.
everybody's got the assignment to look for a good rental for Haryana here in the
Woo,
neighborhood.
I love it, love it, love it. Okay.
Okay, anything else about elections? Or can we move on? There
Well,
were a
just-
couple of,
are,
yeah,
are just checking on Kim and Lars. Do we think they're continuing? Does anybody know?
I don't know.
I
Okay.
don't know.
And who's left? Who are we not thinking of that we should, so Greg and CJ, we
I
hope
don't
will
know if-
continue.
I don't know if Ross wants to, is Ross gonna continue? I know he's been.
Oh.
having- he was-
Oh, he
he's
might
on-
have
he
lost
took his
him.
Video, no,
Oh,
he's. still
oh, that's
here,
right.
but
He's on phone.
video
He's there.
off, Yeah.
I don't know about Lars, but I'd like to continue as the land use rep.
Sure.
Yay, yay.
Listen,
That can all be
Lisa,
worked out after there's a new board, so we
Yeah.
can't really commit.
We just
that.
need names and have enough people, and then we can talk about assignments and who wants to
Later.
do what at the November.
But
That's kind of
Ross,
the
do you want to be on the nominating ballot again for re-upping?
Yes, I would love to. I'm definitely trying to
Great.
feel it out and see where my skill sets can fit into the group. So
And
Great,
so
Ross, thank you.
One thing that I would say is that, you know, we can all be hopeful that 2022 will see a further reduction. You know, we'll get past the Delta variant and whatever, and we'll all have all our shots, because getting
Yeah.
together in person is something that we can do, you know, kind of on the cheap, like a potluck thing, block party sort of stuff.
Mhm.
In the past, the cleanup was like the big event, and I don't think there's going to be any more of those. And that was a money raising thing as well. So all these neighborhood associations are in some kind of a transition over the next 18 months, 2 years, until we see how the city council and how the commissioners deal with the neighborhood associations. But
And the new city charter recommendations,
and the
which, yeah,
and yeah, if
changed governance completely.
and one thing that we can do for something like that, particularly inviting somebody to talk, you know, pro and con of changing the city charter and all that, having speakers, politicians or advocates one way or the other, is a public service that we can certainly do. And we can continue to use Zoom because you can get a lot more people coming to a Zoom meeting than traipsing over to the church basement. But that's going to be important. So I think even though we don't have the income that we used to, because we made a lot of money in those cleanups, still there's a lot of important things we can do for the neighborhood that don't cost money. So let's just keep that in mind as we look forward to 2022. So that's my editorial. There's a couple other things in new business. Let's just dispense those quickly. There was Solve, the cleanup, beach and riverside cleanup that was mentioned last month. And I think they do have a website about neighborhood associations can organize their own cleanups. Does anybody have anything more to add about that?
No, but I think, that could be an event we do this fall in, either, I don't know if we want to, do the pocket or if we want to do some other area, but we could probably organize something like that as a community and do a small Solve cleanup. Maybe we do along Gleason or high traffic areas that we see that. So just maybe we could do that for fall as hopefully as an activity we can do outside and, wear a mask and we can do that, but it's an outside event we can do.
Yeah. And that is, they're operate all throughout the year. So
Right.
if it's in the spring or something, of course, they have organized events that you can just go as an individual to sign up for it. But that would be something for the new board maybe to look into as far as an activity at some point in the future. So we'll just kind of leave that for future. I guess you can leave it in next month for new business for the new board to look at. The Southeast Examiner, I guess the blurb for them is due tomorrow, and Kim, who writes it, is not here. So Sarah, I know you're very good about sending the minutes out rapidly. Send me the minutes and I will send something to the Southeast Examiner. since Kim is not here to write it.
Thank you,
I think what
Robert.
we, yeah, great. Thanks, Robert. I think what we should concentrate on is, like, we're having board elections
Right.
and we have spots available. We're looking for people
Right.
just to be on the board. We're not looking for positions. And if you
Right.
want to get active in our neighborhood, please come. I think
Yeah.
that's our blurb.
Yeah,
for
that'll
the-
be basically it, and maybe a
it,
couple.
and I think we should
couple
just
things.
advertise for that and call it good, and then we can, and then maybe list, then, and just put like, maybe list the November date for, the meeting.
October date.
Or October, well,
Yeah.
October and November, just,
Yeah.
Both,
kind
yeah.
of,
Yeah,
And if you can put the Zoom link in right there so that you don't have to go to
yeah, that helps.
you have to
That
make
helps.
another stop to the website.
Okay.
Also, I think to really say a number of board members are returning, it's a very solid board and we've already have commitments from a
Mhm.
number of people
Mhm.
because some of these organizations turn over completely and that's not as welcoming or interesting. So if we can say this is a well-functioning group and or something like that, I don't want to brag, but it has been really nice to see our neighborhood association appear in the Southeast Examiner pretty regularly because
Mhm.
lots of them don't. It almost doesn't matter what we report, but we're active, we're there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
One quick question about the solve thing. Lisa, in an email earlier, you said something about a project this Saturday. Is that, am I missing something?
Who sent the email?
Was it an email from?
I
Lisa
had,
today?
well, yeah, so there was, I sent the link to the Southeast up, the Land Use and Transportation Committee meeting because I was not able to attend last night and neither was Lars. And so I just sent the link to the site with the agenda. And part of that had the solve project that's going on down at the beach this weekend on Saturday. So I'm not able to attend on
Oh,
Saturday. That
yeah.
was the only thing that I was commenting on.
Okay, so it wasn't something specifically in our neighborhood.
No, it's not in our neighborhood, but it's something that they do a lot of projects around neighborhoods. I mean, the beach is not, it is just one thing.
Right.
So solve is definitely something to look into to help us coordinate any kind of project that we wanted to do in the neighborhood.
Okay. All right, so we'll keep that on the back burner for the next board, and we'll try to work a solve event sometime into, the next year's projects, as well as something more social, because once we are able to do that and the weather improves next spring, we really need to do something in person and not Zoom all the time. Although Zoom is great, I think it's a
More people.
great tool, and we get more participation among neighbors, and we'll also get speakers that would not be able to come otherwise, I think. So that takes us pretty much through the agenda. Is there any other new business that people want to bring up?
Did we make the necessary announcements about the election in October? I think there was don't we have to do like a 30-day announcement or
Well, at
something
30
like that?
days, basically, this is a public meeting and we've announced it at this meeting. Now, if somebody
Okay.
didn't come to this meeting, so I think we've checked the box there,
Okay.
but I
Put
will
it on the
put
website
it
or
in the
something.
Southeast Examiner blurb, which will come out in another week or 10 days or something. And so if somebody wants to argue with us about the 30 days, I don't think it's going to be an issue. But yes, I think we were making
I'll get it.
the appropriate.
It should go up on the Facebook page and on
Right.
our website. Yeah.
Right.
And if it goes up approximately around
It's
now or the next few days, that's close enough.
Yeah.
Didn't you have it mentioned on the newsletter, Jules? I can't remember now, but I thought there was something about elections in the newsletter.
I think it's been
Yes.
mentioned somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
she,
So we're good.
yeah, that wasn't in the newsletter.
That wasn't, sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, nobody thought of it right then.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Mhm.
Never been a problem. Okay, unless there's something else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Jules, I'll send you a recipe for this month.
I move we adjourn the meeting.
Second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. All in favor?
Hi.
All right. Okay, and Haryana, I'll send you Kim's email and you can talk garden stuff with her. Okay,
Kim's
Well,
also-
thanks, Robert,
Okay.
for facilitating. You're so efficient. It's really
Yeah.
wonderful.
Thank
that
you.
Army training, Army staff meetings for years and years. Okay, we're done.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi.
Okay, thank you, baby Jesus. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna stop the recording.